Arthur: Legend of the Sword is directed by Guy Ritchie and stars Charlie Hunnam, Jude Law, Eric Bana, and several others. This movie is a classic retelling of Arthur, who eventually became king after his birthright got overthrown by his evil uncle, which is played by Jude Law in this case. And going into this movie, I didn't expect much. The trailer didn't really sell me on anything. When I watched the trailer, I'm like, I think it's probably just gonna... I wasn't even planning to go to watch it, and I'm like, there I was in the theaters. I'm like, oh, this is playing, alright, I might go ahead and watch it. Turns out it's not that bad. It's quite interesting, actually. There was more fantasy aspect than I ever could have imagined. From the trailers and from what I know about King Arthur, I know about the Knights of the Round Table, but not that much, and I know they're like about knights and very realistic, so I expect lots of realism, like knights kind of stuff, medieval kind of stuff in this movie. But turns out there is so much fantasy and so much magical aspects in this movie that it literally surprised me. And right from the beginning, you can tell that this movie is gonna be magic heavy, and that is very interesting. There is magic in the King Arthur mythos and in Camelot, basically like those legends, but I never know that there's this much magic, which is very surprising to me because I'm never deep into the folklore. And the CG looks great for all the magic, mages, fantasy stuff. And the best way to describe it is, it feels very much like Lord of the Rings, even the setting, because it's like sort of medieval kind of thing. If you've watched a Guy Ritchie movie such as Snatch or the Sherlock Holmes series, or even Man from U.N.C.L.E., you could tell that he has a particular style, and I'm just gonna refer to it as Guy Ritchieism. And that is something that I'm sort of concerned about going to this movie, because his style is interesting when done right. But I don't know if the King Arthur's story could work well with his Guy Ritchieism. The best way to describe his style, if you don't know, is that it's quippy, fast-paced editing, fast-paced storytelling, and that is practically like that. And you could see a lot of that actually in the movie. And at times in the movie it works, at other times it could have been better if he doesn't use that style and just do a regular way of telling a movie, telling how the plot goes on. And that is one of the concerns, one of my issues with the movie, because even though the Guy Ritchieism works at times, which I really enjoy, especially there is one scene like that happens like that in the beginning of the movie and I really like it. And there is another scene in the middle of the movie which I feel like if they do something else instead of his particular style, it probably could have been better because they could explore more. I really do like the story. They really did well in balancing all this fantasy magic stuff with all the realistic knights and Camelot stuff that's going on. Because that could actually go very south if you don't balance it well. It could be like the movie will not know its identity. Is it going to be very fantasy like Harry Potter, or very realistic like maybe like a war movie, medieval war movie? But this movie managed to balance each other very well, which I think was really good, well done by Guy Ritchie. Charlie Hunnam, who plays King Arthur in this movie, he's really good. I really like his performance. In Pacific Rim, I didn't really like him in Pacific Rim. He did well in this one, I believe. And then Eric Bana was also good. And Jude Law, all his scenes, I really like what he does with all the dialogues that he say. He brings really much gravitas. And for the one who played the mage, I forget her name. Let me check. Wait. Astrid. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Astrid Burgess Frisbee. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. She played the mage in this movie, sort of like Merlin, but not really. Just basically a mage. And I really like her performance. She's really great. I never seen her in any other movies, but I really like her performance in this one. The action sequence in this movie were amazing, especially near the end of the movie. It's very video game-like, not really Mortal Kombat, but like a slow-mo, fast-paced video. Not slow-mo, fast-paced. Like basically a video game, like you could see the background's like slowing down, but he moves really fast. It's very video game-like. I'm not so sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I do like it. The score is interesting. I like the score for majority of it. However, there is part of the score which they use vocals, like sort of like song, really, like more sort of like a soundtrack mixed with a score. And I particularly doesn't like those scores. I like the scores which is just like instrumental. But when it comes to vocals, I really don't like it because I feel like it's off tone and doesn't really fit the movie. It's just my personal opinion though. This movie was nicely done. Some things could have been done better. The issue with this movie is not what they have in the movie, but what isn't in the movie. Because the runtime is only around 2 hours long, and I feel like they could benefit from a longer runtime because there is so much mythos, so much legend, so much world in the Camelot and King Arthur storyline that they could explore. And I feel like with this 2-hour runtime, it sort of feels a little bit compressed at times, and like I said, the middle part which Guy Ritchie do, his fast-paced editing, I think he does that in order to minimize the runtime. But then again, if he doesn't use that style, I feel like they could explore more of the world, which I think could be really interesting. Overall, this is an interesting movie, really awesome action sequence, I like it, decently well done performance, great world, very unexpected because all the magical stuff that I talk about. And yeah, my only issue is particularly part of some of the score, but that's not really a big thing. And the main issue for me is that the Guy Ritchieism takes over at time. It doesn't fit with how the movie played out, and also I feel like the movie could do well with a longer runtime. That's just my thought though. And with that, I'll give it a 7.6. Excalibur. Guys, have you seen this movie? If you do, tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. What is your favorite Guy Ritchie movie? My personal favorite is Man from U.N.C.L.E. I really think it's underrated, and I really do enjoy Man from U.N.C.L.E. That's my favorite Guy Ritchie movie. And also, the summer movie season is finally starting. It started with Guardians, of course, and now King Arthur, Legend of the Sword. And soon we're gonna have Alien Covenant, Pirates of the Caribbean, many more coming in June, July. Spider-Man Homecoming, Dawn of the Planets of Planets of the Apes, and then Wonder Woman. So many. It's gonna be heavy with movies. Tell me in the comments below which one is your most anticipated summer movie. Of course, don't forget to like this video. Like always, just click the like button down there. It really helps me out. Don't forget to subscribe. I really do appreciate it when you do subscribe. I want to see my fan base grow. I really love you guys when you interact with me. Please just comment your thoughts, everything, subscribe. And until next time, ciao out.